Good evening. My name is Rixon Lane. I've been a part of Project Hope Foundation for all of its 25 years because my mom is Lisa Lane and Colby Lane is my younger brother. Yeah. For 25 years, I've seen up close and personal the power of this amazing organization that was started by two women that I greatly admire, Miss Susan and my mom. Project Hope has helped so many people have extraordinary, ordinary moments. There's moments that most of us don't even recognize, but those moments that represent so much hard work for those impacted by autism.
25 years of extraordinary, ordinary moments that they have provided our community. Extraordinary, ordinary moments such as saying I love you to your mom. The first time I heard that from Max, it was from here. He came home from school and said, I love you, Mom. And I cried for the whole day. It was the most beautiful sound I'd ever heard, and he was 6 years old. So those moments that so many moms take for granted that are typical, holding a pencil or waving goodbye or hello, oftentimes don't exist in the autism world. I can't imagine where we would be personally without them, probably lost in the cracks of the system. And the services that Lisa and Susan have provided for 25 years have given us those moments, and I'm forever grateful.
Project Hope's largest program is providing therapy, 25 to 40 hours every week for most kids. That's a full-time job because there is so much to be done. Our therapists work individually with their clients, building skills, critical skills, like learning to communicate. 40% of the autism community is nonverbal. No vocal language at all. That's a challenge that I know well because as you've heard tonight, my brother was part of that 40% for the first 8 years of his life.
So my son Owen started at Project Hope when he was 4, and he was not talking at all. He said a few words when he was 18 months, and it was just very seldom you get mama, and then he's like, he hadn't said that in a while, and then it just finally stopped. So we had actually started learning sign language because we didn't know if he was gonna have a voice or not. And so as soon as he started with Project Hope, it was probably about a month into it, and he started talking.
Bye.
It was awesome to hear his little voice again. He talks all the time now.
Yeah.
The biggest thing with Sullivan is when he started at Project Hope, he was 4.5, nonverbal. I don't know that there's anything more difficult than like wanting so badly to communicate with your child and, you know, have them feel like they can communicate with you, and just to have that breakdown of communication was so difficult. When he started at Hope, I mean, maybe saying like 2 to 3 words. And as of actually last week, he has 30 words in his vocabulary. They started him off on an AAC device a few months back.
What do you want?
We really started to see things move a lot when that device got introduced.
Drink.
But he's not limited to that. When he started, he could hold a pencil, but he didn't have the motor skills to be able to write or even color. And now he can pick up and he's stenciling the letters of his name. So just like really, really big strides in a year.
Another issue that Project Hope addresses through their therapy is social interaction. You know, most folks on the autism spectrum, they have trouble understanding facial expressions and body language, and they don't understand the rules of engagement that the rest of us just sort of pick up. And many are overwhelmed with sensory issues. Things just seem too bright, or too loud, or too rough, or just too much. And that can result in meltdowns that interfere with life.
I like to go to Project Hope because I always get to see my friends. Because I know they care about me, and that I care about them too.
Nice job.
Project Hope is very important for me because that I'd probably be in that spot where I always have meltdowns 2 times every week. The therapist would like role play the person that was doing something that I didn't like, and I would role play to ignore it. I've been learning from that every day, and that I'm very grateful for Project Hope.
Hannah was diagnosed a little before she was 5. She was hurting herself. Before, when she was scared of everything, she would cower in fear. And when your child is diagnosed with autism, it's really scary. And they hand you this folder with phone numbers and a lot of paperwork. Kind of hated that folder because it represented this awful thing that I couldn't fix. Project Hope in Greenwood called Hope Reach opened, and Hannah was one of the first kids in the door, and we met a lady named Nikki. Nikki would come over and watch Hannah interact with her siblings, because that would give her an idea of what to work on in the clinic. You know, like, she will be potty trained by Christmas. This will happen. And I'm like, okay. And then Christmas comes around and she's potty trained.
There's a high up high for us.
And now we have a child that's not afraid of the stage. She's not afraid of gymnastics class. They taught her how to live and not be afraid.
Therapy addresses so many important life skills. And one of the most important is safety. 50%, half the autism community, have issues with wandering away, sometimes actually darting away really fast without any understanding of danger. I've had many a sprint chasing my younger brother as he zigs when the rest of us are zagging. And I remember my mom's ongoing concern that he would get into any car that opened up a door for him.
I can't say enough about Hope. It's just been a life changer for us. And as I just look over the years, there's just so many things that they helped Caleb with, like getting off the bus and making sure that the proper person is there to pick him up.
When I see a car that mom isn't in, I look around and then I go back in the bus.
I think maybe a couple of weeks ago, I was in my daughter's car and Kaylin got off the bus and he was like, I don't see my mom's car. He started walking back to the bus. And then I got out the car, I was like, hey Kaylin, I'm right here. That's growth, that's progress. And I was proud. I was a proud mama.
I have a son named Christopher. Christopher is now 15 years old. You know, we're just a regular couple having a kid. You know, you all have all your hopes and dreams, and he's just this cute baby. And then your life switches on you. We've been coming to Project Hope since he was about 6. For us as a family, it was our lifeboat. When he first came, he was a runner. It's very dangerous. Cars, going into people's houses, things like that. And as he was growing, it became more dangerous. Yeah, it was hard for me to imagine us to go sit and relax at a beach and not to be completely alert. But with the therapist and the programs and goals, we got him now that that's not an issue anymore. Now we can actually sit at the beach because he knows how to swim. And swimming from where he started to where he is now is just dramatically different.
Go, Crystal.
But it took a lot of work, or 6 times the work of a regular child. You know, everybody's a little apprehensive of jumping, but I mean, it took him 3-4 times longer to jump. Yay! But he did it. It's not as dangerous anymore, trying to keep him safe. And we would never be able to do that without Project Hope.
One of the special things about Project Hope is that no matter how big it grows, the emphasis is always on individualization. You know, each person with autism is unique. Each family has its own priorities. And Project Hope services are tailored to meet those specific needs.
My son Jalen, he's 10 years old. He was diagnosed with severe autism when he was 2 years old. First time I took Jalen to the dentist, it was very, very challenging. He was coming up out of the chair, did not want the dental hygienist to work on him when he saw those sharp instruments coming towards his mouth. We basically had to end the dental visit. So once I took all these concerns to Hope, they were like, hey, let's make a program. Let's make a program and let's work on it. And so that's what they did. They had me to purchase some of the equipment.
You're doing great. Almost done.
I brought it in, so when they practice with him, he touches a blood pressure cuff. He applies it to himself, and he applies it to his therapist. He applies it to his mother. He was excited to go to the dentist. He even took his medical bag kit with him. He just really was lighting up. Not only did they come to the dentist appointments, they also came to his regular pediatrician appointments where he was able to successfully get his vaccines and get dental exams done.
Not scary anymore.
He has overcome so many obstacles, and I'm just so proud of his strength.
Autism is not a diagnosis that just impacts the individual. The whole family is forever changed. Every little thing in life, sleeping, eating, traveling, really everything just seems harder.
My name is Kate Rothermel. I was diagnosed with autism at 2 years old, and I went to Hope at 3 years old. So I had trouble eating food because I didn't like the texture of it, but when I ate it, I usually choked it out because I didn't like it.
He literally would just eat about 5 foods. I mean, I thought, we're gonna have a kid living on crackers, saltine crackers all his life.
I remember one time my therapist took me to this restaurant and she ordered a pasta for me and we could go to Toys R Us. So I grabbed the fork and I put it in the pasta and I tried to eat a piece and she congratulated me and I was really proud of myself.
I'm so proud of you. Was that caught choking? No, that was great. I'm done.
From that point on, today, he tries everything. May not like everything, but he tries everything.
Project Hope helped me through my autism, my struggles, my communication, everything. My life now is pretty great. I have more friends, I can now talk more.
We went to Disney World before we started there, and we had to come home early because the situation was so bad. Once we started at Hope, we've never had to come home early from anywhere. So, I mean, we just learned, they taught us how to teach him.
To help clients and their families have lives that are pretty great, like Cade's. Therapy teams meet every month with each family to review goals, to check progress, and to provide support. COVID stopped those meetings, but it is exciting to announce that they have resumed. And in addition to the therapy program, Project Hope also has a school, Hope Academy, that serves students from kindergarten through high school, providing differing levels of support and personalized goals.
Project Hope makes me happy because it helps me when I need to know how to get a job. And it's just, well, sweet and neat and has pretty views and up on a mountain. Everyone's always helping me. I want to make my own movies, TV shows, and commercials. Thanks for helping me know what I need to do to achieve my goal and being good friends to me.
The Hope Academy is Project Hope's own school that is sweet and neat. But they also serve students in 12 other local schools, providing the support they need to succeed in those environments.
Parks was diagnosed with autism when he was 5. We also found out he was dyslexic. So we were introduced to Project Hope, and through Our Lady of the Rosary, they recommended that we get a therapist. I guess for me, it's just amazing to look back and think that we've only been working with Project Hope for 7 months, and the amount of change that we've seen is just staggering. He had his teeth cleaned for the first time in 4 years and can't wait to go.
This isn't so bad.
It's not so bad.
I think the biggest thing that I know that they are doing for him is they're giving him confidence. They are there for him in school, but they're not making other students realize that they're only there for him. So he's able to feel like one of the rest of the kids. And I mean, that's just boosted his confidence by leaps and bounds. Sorry. I don't know what we'd do without him. I really don't. And I want to give back. I want to help them. It's amazing the impact that Project Hope has had.
Children with autism grow into adults with autism. And so Project Hope's lifespan of services includes a program for adults that not only teaches important life skills, but also has its own innovative business, Printed by Hope.
So I oversee Printed by Hope, which employs our adults here on the spectrum at the Project Hope Foundation, and they run our t-shirt printing business. They are responsible for printing our uniform shirts that we also sell to the public. Not only are we printing t-shirts, they are answering customer service emails. They are meeting external customers. They run every single printing machine in the room without supervision. I've even had one of my clients ask me about billing. They probably will have my job one day, and I'm okay with that. They're getting to the point where they don't need me, but that's the goal. Watching them learn something new and getting it right and mastering that skill and watching them light up, that's what lights me up. I think Hope really does a good job of letting our parents feel like it is going to be okay. And it's scary. Having an adult child, you know, they're getting older, your adult child is getting older. Who's going to take care of them? I'm going to do everything within my power to make sure that they have all the skills that they need to have in order to be able to live with somebody else, live on their own, or advocate for themselves.
She's right. It is scary to think about the future. And sometimes parents face horrible, heartbreaking choices.
Cadence was diagnosed when she was young, and as she was going through the school system, they got to a place where they just really were not equipped to handle that. And so when she was 11, they said she needs to go to residential care. And there's only a few facilities in the whole state, and so she'd be hours away from us, and she was 11 and not verbal. And like, no. So we found Project Hope, and she began to excel, like packing her own lunches, can take care of her own hygiene. They taught her to use an iPad to communicate.
I want to go somewhere.
But the biggest thing was that she just lives with us. Our family's not broken up. They saved our family. That within itself was a beautiful gift, right? More than we could have ever asked for. But then to pile on top of that independence and value and purpose, because she works in the adult program now. And so the adult services that they're providing and that they're looking towards, residential housing and things like that, that's going to be the greatest gift to Cadence, because it's going to outlive me. It's going to outlive our family. It's going to give her a future. And what more can we ask for our kids?
The future truly is always on parents' minds. And to be honest, it is on the minds of us siblings as well.
My son, Bo, is 18, so we've been a part of Hope for about 16 years now. One of the biggest things that you go through as a parent is the diagnosis is kind of like a death. It's sort of a death of expectations you have as a parent. But then you quickly get past that and you get to what's next. And Hope's really always been there for the what's next.
That's it. Use the rope.
We've got hopes that he will be able to independently work. We've got hopes that he will one day be able to live independently, or maybe with some supervision.
I can't wait until I own enough.
You know, he's one of the longest tenured students now at Hope Academy, and so you know, it's really cool to have watched. And I think, you know, all the therapists that have been a part of his journey are really the heroes of his story.
They really are heroes, and many of them are here tonight, and we're here all day setting up, volunteering their services to make this evening special for the rest of us. So where do those heroes come from? Well, sometimes they come from within Project Hope's own ranks. Here's one who was a student at Hope Academy when I was there as well, another one of the neurotypical students without autism who attended in the very early days.
I started as a neurotypical student, getting my education alongside Michael and Colby, and got to be a part of a lot of extraordinary, ordinary moments with Colby Lane, and that just really, all those experiences influenced me to want to be a teacher at Project Hope when I grew up. So now work looks like for me, I'm a case supervisor at the Greenwood Clinic. It's almost like I'm motivated by working ourselves out of a job. Like I had this moment where a mom said, yeah, he came home and he told me that he got frustrated at school, but he told his friend, hey, I really value our friendship, so sometimes when I get frustrated, I do this, and just leave me alone and I'll be fine in a few minutes. And I looked at her and I said, wow, he has come so far. I don't know that he needs me anymore. As it was just really bittersweet because it's sad that you have to say goodbye, but it's so exciting that through all of their hard work and all the hours they've put in since they were little, they are able to now go be an independent person in our community.
And we agree with Lindsay. What a triumph when our clients work our therapists out of a job. And what a special triumph when a client works into a job as a senior therapist.
I was diagnosed with autism when I was 10 years old, and there really wasn't a good educational placement for me at the time, so Hope was, I think, the best thing that my parents probably could have done. I had an internship with some of the younger classes, so I would help out in the preschool classroom, and it turned out that I was actually really good at it, and I enjoyed it a lot, and I think that's what kind of led my teachers to start thinking that this might be something I might enjoy long term. That's when they had kind of made the plan that I was going to graduate and then become a therapist. So at work as a therapist, I see 3 clients a day. I see bits and pieces of myself in them. And I feel like I have maybe a better idea of how to address some of those skill deficits and maybe empathize with them in a different way than somebody else might be able to. I love working for Project Hope. They have allowed me to take breaks if I was feeling upset or overwhelmed, so someone would cover my session so I could just step away. They've put a lot of time and resources into me as an employee, so I feel respected and valued and appreciated.
What an extraordinary full circle moment. Kaylin is going to be featured on Love on the Spectrum, a series that will debut on Netflix on May the 18th, which we are all going to excitedly watch. So not only will Kaylin be making an impact on people literally around the world, but she is already making a tremendous impact on others right here at Hope.
I can relate to my therapist, Miss Kaylin, because she also has autism. Kaylin and I talk about maybe working with little kids and maybe being a therapist and maybe being a substitute teacher some. Yeah, maybe I can also do the same job like she's doing right now. I look towards that goal, and I'm going to be graduating at Hope by August. Next, I think I'm going to do some work around here.
Man, do we hope Trent can join the team, because the need for Project Hope services is more urgent than ever. The rate of autism has increased twice since our last Evening of Hope Gala. The current rate is 1 in 44. 1 in 44. You never know when autism may enter into your own family. Like in the case of someone who once worked in Hope's therapy program and now finds herself back in the Hope world, but now she's receiving treatment for her own son.
Right after college, I worked for Project Hope Foundation for about 2.5 years as a line therapist. Changed who I was as a person. You know, almost a decade later, sitting in a developmental pediatrician's office, getting a not unexpected diagnosis of autism for my son. And as I received that news and thought about the families that I'd worked with and the doors that they'd opened, that gave me hope. And knowing that they've blazed the trail for us. We're thrilled to be here as part of the Project Hope family, sitting on the side of the table. It felt a little bit like coming home, but I love the respectful way that they consider his talents. He's so funny. One of our goals has been with his therapy team learning jokes and leverage that as a social springboard.
What do mice eat for dessert? Ice cream.
Sitting on the side of the table has a new meaning for me now, and we're grateful.
Project Hope team loves to work on fun skills like joke telling. My script, y'all get it, right? Make sure the tequila and Tatooine tables are still with us. But they also teach skills for handling very serious situations, sometimes even dangerous situations.
Hope Alive had been working with Hannah Grace and her peers about what to do in an emergency situation. And that's when our emergency situation happened. I had a cardiac arrest and my heart just stopped. My husband began CPR on me, and then he told Hannah Grace to go to our neighbors. And what did you tell Miss Donna?
She couldn't breathe.
That I couldn't breathe. And what did you ask her to do?
Come help.
To come and help.
She didn't hesitate. Went out, got help, and brought her back in. But had she not done that, I don't think everything would have gone like it had. And it's given us confidence that whatever situation comes down the road, we can handle it.
She's our hero. She really is.
The first thing that Project Hope helped me with was the most important thing to my family, which was Allie's behavior. At that time, she was very unhappy, very impatient, and very aggressive in the car. She would just make up her mind that she was ready to be at her destination and just completely lose control. But what Project Hope did that was so amazing is they created a program specific to Allie, and it was a car riding program. And now the girl loves to be in the car. As long as I've got the tunes playing, she is rocking and rolling to the music. And we have fun in the car now. And she has improved in behavior and in speech. And they were working very, very hard on it, obviously, because there was one evening, it was time for her to go to bed. And I said, "Are you ready to go to bed?" And she said, "I'm ready to go to sleep." And I was shocked, and I think she was shocked as well.
Did you say to me?
Ready to go to sleep?
What?
I'm ready to go to sleep.
I'm ready to go to sleep.
That was the first time she had ever said a complete sentence on her own without imitating someone. And she was 21. And I credit Project Hope for that.
I'm ready to go to sleep.
I'm ready to go to sleep. That is amazing.
I'm ready to go to sleep.
I'm ready to go to sleep.
A first sentence at age 21. That really brings us back to extraordinary, ordinary moments. Think of how many there have been in the last 25 years. And here's someone who joined Project Hope early on and has witnessed many of them.
In 1998, when I started with Hope, I was a preschool teacher, and Michael was one of my students. And it's amazing to see him right now in Hope Alive, making t-shirts, doing all the janitorial jobs that our adult clients do around the clinic. Susan to me feels like family, and she took me in with open arms, and she is one of those people that I don't think will ever give up. I really feel the passion of employees and how they care about clients. Everybody brings something different to the table. I have more of the motherly approach. I didn't quite understand how much these parents trust us until I became a parent. It just blows my mind how big Hope is right now and how they're still doing the work with the same values and ethic and respect that they did when I started.
Sonny, well, I'm still gonna call her Ms. Sonny. She was one of my teachers when I went to Hope, but Ms. Sonny feels like Susan is part of her family. And this person is definitely part of my family. She has been a key person in Colby's journey since the very beginning.
Where's Colby? Where's... There he is! There he is!
Right after Colby was diagnosed at 18 months old, I came in and started working with him. So I've been here 25 years. And listen, I walked into Colby's room, and it's like he imprinted on my heart. And I thought, I've got to do this. So without hesitation, I said, please, let me try it. A lot of people say they don't see miracles. I've gotten to see a lot of miracles with Colby Jack Lane. From being nonverbal.
Can I have a computer?
Yes, you can. To being able now to look up things on Google I'm having to look up words that he tells me. I'm thinking, I don't know that, Colby. So let me look that up.
Convivio, Miss Brinkley.
He is able to do things on his own, wash his clothes, fold his clothes, cook his meals, use the microwave. I've seen the program work, and I've witnessed it firsthand for 25 years. And it just is going to keep getting better. The more services that we can offer, the more facilities. So families out there need to know that there is hope. And you can find it at Project Hope Foundation.
As usual, Tammy says it best. That's why we're here, to bring hope. And there are hundreds more who need it. And no one sees that more than Project Hope's intake coordinator, who handles those phone calls from desperate parents.
So I'm the intake coordinator, and I talk with a lot of different people. It's definitely a roller coaster ride. Some moms squeal and start getting teary on the other side, being very thankful or just be at a loss for words. But I still have a lot of conversations where families are just really beaten down emotionally. One family in particular has had to wait over 3 years to get started with us.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Sarah.
There are so many pieces involved with starting a new client, from the clinical side to the scheduling to the billing department, the facilities. Not all of that can be billed to insurance, which is the other means of income that we have. So the rest is from grants and donations. I wish there were more of us. I want us to be able to serve as many families as possible, and there are a lot that still need services desperately.
And what does it feel like to be on that waiting list? Here's someone who knows that pain.
So we knew something was different with Jack. In the IEP meeting, I'm sure everybody's been to one, they said, well, you know he's autistic. Like we were supposed to know, and we didn't. I walked out of the school and I threw up because there was just fear.
And we weren't sure if Jack was ever going to be able to read or be able to introduce himself enough to have a friend. And we were lucky enough and fortunate enough to be able to find Project Hope. And through ABA therapy with Hope, maybe about a year and a half in, he could tell someone his name and start a conversation.
He's very kind, he's empathetic, and those are all skills that he learned through Project Hope. Before I knew there was a Project Hope, I was passionate about golf and my job. And now, it's Project Hope. Constant. I mean, that's always on our mind. It's always what we're trying to do. We're always trying to raise money. It's absolutely heartbreaking to think that there are children that are still on the waiting list, because we were on it, and it was a very
lonely,
debilitating feeling, just waiting and hoping. And that is why it's our passion. I can't remember the last time I played golf.
That wasn't for a cause.
Well, except at our golf tournament.
At our golf tournament, right, exactly.
The passion Ms. Susan and my mom have for Project Hope is infectious. Everyone who is a part of this community is beyond excited for the future. And no one more so than Colby's first therapist and now the director for services at Project Hope.
I mean, being the only nonprofit provider for services for children with autism in the state, and to have lasted 25 years is an amazing feat that demonstrates the dedication of the founders, Rixon Lane and Susan Sachs. They live and breathe it because it was set up to provide the best services for their sons, Michael and Colby. Lisa taught me everything that I know about how to interact with kids. I mean, she was a mom who, prior to getting a diagnosis, worked in the law profession, and she walked away from that to give to her own child. And in doing so, she taught me. And Susan has also been an incredible inspiration. In the midst of 2008, 2009, when there was a financial crisis, Susan knew what it took to get through that. She has been just steadfast in holding us accountable to the funds and the donations that we received. I mean, she has been a mentor in terms of how we can grow and be sustainable. Each little step that Michael and Colby take, Lisa and Susan also take a step of faith forward, and they also take a step forward in seeing another glimmer of hope and independence.
So in honor of our 25th anniversary, we have just shared 25 stories with you, in case you weren't counting. 25 stories of hope that last a lifetime. Hope is what we all have in common tonight. And with your help, we can bring hope to more who are waiting in the darkness right now.
This community is so fortunate that these two
Yes.
ladies decided not only for their two boys to do this, that they have done this for the community and that they are there so no one else has to go through this.
It's something we talk about all the time. Hope is something we think about all the time.
I'm so comfortable with her being here.
I don't know what I was expecting, but my expectations don't even come close to what has actually happened.
You know, Project Hope brought these threads in. Hannah's favorite color is yellow, so I imagine that the threads that it brought into her tapestry were bright yellow and lovely and exciting. But not only that, they care about our marriage, they care about our family, they care about our other 5 children.
They gave us our son, they gave him a chance at being a wonderful member of society one day. To know that Max will be taken care of through adulthood, to watch his confidence grow step by step, to see him want to be social. My dreams and aspirations for him are top to the mountain.
I think them helping us as parents to keep on saying, hey, it's a little bit at a time. Little victories, little victories, little victories. If you put a ceiling on these kids, they're gonna hit it. I'm not really big on heroes, but for us as a family, there are heroes.
They're so flexible at Hope. They know when to push, when to pull, and they help me so much.
They bring out the very best in her, you know, and it makes her life fuller.
There's no words. It's just, you know, they're very special people, and we couldn't be here without them.
It's been absolutely life-changing.
I mean, truly life-changing. It continues to give me hope, and I'm excited about Kaylin's future, so I just want to say thank you. Mwah.